Today on the Morning Edition, a woman from Kenai that survived a horrifying bear attack is opening up and sharing her story for the first time. We'll share her message of hope and support to others that may be struggling with their own trauma. Plus, after nearly a year, it's finally opening, the planetarium at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. We'll tell you how you can plan to enjoy this new facility and what you might see. And later, therapy has many different forms, but generally when you think of therapy animals, you think of dogs, cats, and other fluffy, soft, cuddly creatures. But we'll show you how one university is flipping those expectations on their head with a highly unconventional therapy animal as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Tuesday morning. You look horrified. A therapy snake?
No.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. Not my speed.
Yeah, I don't even want them crawl. Like when they start crawling and they wrap around. And I know.
No, you'll stick to your cats, right?
I'll stick to my cats and alpacas and llamas and all those other things. We are waking up this morning to some snow showers through the interior, and those will continue. We do have a winter weather advisory for a large portion of the interior that will continue through the remainder of today. Now, most of the snow will stay with us through the morning hours and then gradually taper off by the afternoon. We're currently sitting at 32 degrees in Fairbanks with winds out of the south-southwest at 10 miles per hour. We've got an active week ahead of us across the state. In fact, by midweek, really as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to be watching a stronger storm that's going to build into the Bering Sea, already impacting the Aleutians this morning. Now, we do have some snow that's going to continue to build through the interior. You can see that widespread cloud coverage that does remain with the region. And when it comes to that snowfall potential, we'll still pick up a couple more inches of that snow accumulation as we head through the rest of your Tuesday. You can see many areas picking up an additional 1 to about 3 inches of snow accumulation. Of course, some of those higher elevations will pick up slightly higher amounts, as well as through the Alaska range. Nothing significant when it comes to that snow, but again, we will see an additional 1 to 3 inches through the rest of your Tuesday. And then by midweek on into the end of the week, we'll see more in the way of a rain-snow mix building into the interior as temperatures are set to warm about 10 to 15 degrees as we head beyond Wednesday. Temperatures this morning sitting in the teens and the 20s for many areas outside of Fairbanks, as well as Nenana and Living Good, which is coming in with those temperatures hovering near freezing to start off your Tuesday morning. But you can see that isolated to scattered pockets of some snow showers from Nenana to the northeast out towards Fort Yukon. So just take it easy as you get out on those roadways this morning. Again, we do have fairly active weather through a large portion of this week. That stronger storm arriving by midweek. And yes, 50s in the forecast. We have a stretch of 50s, which look likely for the interior by week's end. I'll have more on that, as well as that 7-day forecast of what to expect across the state coming up.
Well, a death investigation is underway in Anchorage after a body was found in the Spenard neighborhood off Lois Drive and West 36th Avenue early Monday morning. Joe Allgood has the latest on the developing situation.
Police arrived to the scene here on Lois Drive around 9 a.m. Monday morning after a body was found in the ravine behind me. Police opened a death investigation shortly after, but provided few details about the circumstances surrounding the death. Investigators have not said how long the body may have been there. That's expected to be determined through autopsy. Around 5:30 Monday evening, the mobile crime lab arrived to process the scene. In cases like this, next of kin are notified before any information about the victim's identity is released, and we're still waiting on that information. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Now, this investigation is happening in the same neighborhood where we recently reported on the disappearance of Kelly Hunt, who was reported missing more than 3 months ago. Now, at this time, we want to emphasize police have not connected the investigations. We'll keep you updated as we learn new information. Anchorage police are investigating a shooting that took place early Monday morning on the 500 block of St. Lazaria Circle. That's in the Russian Jack Park area. Investigators were at the scene yesterday taking photos and marking evidence. Police say there was an exchange of gunfire at the home. 2 people were taken to local hospitals and are expected to survive. 3 others were also shot. Police say their injuries are also not life-threatening. No arrests have been made. A separate investigation is underway in Fairbanks after a man's body was found near College Road last Tuesday. The Department of Public Safety says he has been identified, but investigators are trying to contact his family before releasing more information. Officials also say the man had not been previously reported missing. This is a developing story, and we'll have more information on our website and mobile app as it becomes available. After President Trump appointed Governor Dunleavy to a federal Arctic Research Commission last week, the administration reiterates the governor is eligible for a research role. The law sets specific qualifications for that role. That seat, now filled by the governor, is reserved by law for someone with academic or research expertise in the Arctic. In an email, Dunleavy spokesperson Jeff Turner said his experience leading research departments as governor was sufficient. Senator Lisa Murkowski publicly questioned the appointment last week.
I have to admit I'm a little bit surprised at the appointment, only because it was my understanding that the vacancy on the commission was an Indigenous person's seat.
I think we have a lot of great research. I think the next step is going to be for us, I hope, on the Arctic Commission is how do we rationalize this so that policymakers, investors, et cetera, understand the best approach to produce and build this infrastructure.
Murkowski said she would not support the appointment if Dunleavy was filling the Indigenous seat, but commission records confirm that seat has been filled since 2021. Dunleavy replaced a research commissioner whose term was terminated in March. Now we continue to follow a developing story at Anchorage's Asplund Wastewater Treatment Center. Anchorage firefighters say a man fell from a ladder inside a large tank around 9:30 Monday morning. Crews used an aerial platform to lift him out and get him to a waiting ambulance. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. Here's how the Anchorage Fire Department described the fall and the rescue response.
Possibly a distance greater than 10 feet. We were able to get rescue crews heading that way. The first fire crew on scene was able to look at the situation and realize that it was a technical rope rescue that needed to be conducted instead of more of an urban search and rescue type.
We're working to find out the man's condition. Check for updates on our website and mobile app. A Kenai woman who survived a bear attack in her own neighborhood is sharing her story for the first time. Georgina Fernandez talked with her about the road to recovery and the message of hope she's now passing forward.
On August 26, 2025, it started like any other morning.
I started my watch, and after that, I'm sure it happened right after.
That's the last thing Colton remembers. After wildlife troopers say she was attacked by a bear and dragged about 100 yards away.
I'm just blessed to be here.
Colton suffered serious injuries to her body, including a traumatic brain injury, and says she's now blindish in her left eye.
Now that spring is here, I'm a little more anxious just because I know the bears are out.
Colton spent the last 8 months healing both physically and mentally.
It is hard being in the same area just because I constantly think of what happened.
But like any runner,
feel good to be moving.
To have to keep pushing and just say, I can do it. I can, just keep going.
It's that Stanima and her family pushing her forward.
Kind of the motto in our family is the 101st yard, because they say that the bear did drag me 100 yards, and I was just able to get up, and my family and my kids, my husband, they really pushed me through.
Now she's sharing that motto online, documenting her recovery on social media.
I just really want to encourage women and other people, like, scars and the way you look on your face is not really it's not the true beauty that we all have.
A message for anyone living with trauma: you're not alone. As Arian Colton keeps pushing forward towards her own 101st yard in her race to recovery. Georgina Fernandez, Alaska's news source.
After nearly a year of construction, the new planetarium, at the University of Alaska Fairbanks is getting ready to open this Saturday. The facility is the largest planetarium in Alaska and the furthest north in the Americas. It features an 11-meter dome theater where visitors will get a preview of the educational films it'll show. The opening event is free to the public and will also include a tour of Alaska's night sky. Museum and tourism leaders say the planetarium could become a major draw for visitors to the interior.
Now that we have this amazing facility, we can share with a whole bunch of different audiences incredible stories about space science, indigenous cultures, Alaska and the Arctic.
We saw having a planetarium here in Fairbanks would be the perfect complement to what we do to establish ourselves as a world-class Aurora destination.
After the grand opening, more exhibits will be added, including meteorites and rocket parts from the Poker Flats Research Range. Spring has sprung, and with spring comes road work. Road crews are already out hitting the roads, getting started on some major projects all across Alaska roads. Being safe while in these zones is a top priority, so we'll give you some tips and reminders when we return.
Active weather continuing to stay with us across the state as a strong storm builds into the Bering Sea. I'll have more on that. First at sunrise, 6:19 in Anchorage, 5:29 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
Welcome back in on this Tuesday morning. We've got more of that daylight. Aaron, where is our sunshine? We haven't seen the sunshine in a while.
I know the cloud coverage still with us across a good portion of the state. I mean, we've got some active weather that's going to stay with us. Today will provide some sunshine, much like we did see yesterday towards the latter half of your Monday. That's what we can expect to see today across a good portion of South Central. But we are going to be watching a strong storm moving into the Bering Sea, increasing winds, rain, and snow out west, and then we'll see those rain showers and breezy conditions build into South Central. Now, this morning, we do have that winter weather advisory through a large portion of the interior that remains in effect until 10 p.m. this evening. 1 to 3 inches in the valley. Of course, higher elevations could see slightly higher amounts, and winds will still gust upwards of 30 miles per hour. So that will stay with us throughout the day. Of course, the vast majority of the central interior will see that snow coming to an end by early afternoon as it pushes into the eastern interior. Meanwhile, out west, we've got winter storm watches and winter weather advisories that have been issued. This comes in advance of our next storm system, which is already impacting areas of the Aleutians. There is that low out towards Adak. You can see winds gusting anywhere from 20 to 40 miles per hour through the Aleutians. And then across mainland Alaska, those winds anywhere from about 20 to 35 miles per hour. And as this storm continues to deepen and strengthen as it builds into the Bering Sea, we will see those winds increasing across western and southwest Alaska. So what we're going to be watching as we head from today on into the middle of the week, really through the close of this week, is the impacts from this storm system, which is going to bring multiple fronts. This is going to lead to rain, snow, winds, and yes, even some warmer conditions that will build in across the state. For today, most of the impacts stay through the Aleutians as well as the Pribilof Islands. And then as we head through the overnight hours on into our Wednesday, you can see that system building through mainland Alaska. And this is going to drive a push of very warm conditions back into the state. The interior, you'll see those temperatures climb about 10 to 15 degrees from Tuesday on through Thursday. The slope, you'll see those temperatures climb from about 0 degrees for highs into the 20s and the 30s by week's end. So this will push warmer conditions into the state. Still holding on to largely snow for many areas across South Central. We'll largely hold on to some rain, and heavy rainfall is expected out towards coastal areas of South Central. So this will stay with us here over the next couple of days. Today will be a lot drier for many areas outside of the interior, which continues to hold on to some of that snowfall, where again, 1 to 3 inches looks possible outside of those higher elevations. There is that heavier snowfall arriving as we head into your Wednesday and Thursday. Several inches to be expected, along with some gusty winds, which will lead to some blowing and drifting snow and some lowering visibility. Now, we can't rule out some areas of wintry mix across South Central like we saw yesterday, but we'll be warm enough that we'll largely hold on to some rain. And as we close out April, we'll continue to trend on the wetter side for most of the state outside of the Panhandle, which will continue to stay fairly dry, due in large part to that ridge of high pressure. That's to our south. So the interior, you'll see those temperatures in the 30s today and into your Wednesday, and then there's that rapid climb as we top out in the upper 40s Thursday and through the weekend, with its return to some 50s looking likely as we welcome in next week.
As construction season picks up in Alaska, so does the danger for drivers and crews in work zones. This week, as Danny Tompkins reports, new federal data is underscoring that risk.
2 people. That's how many workers die in work zones every day, according to the U.S. Department of Transportation. And right now, crews like these are counting on you. This is the North Glen Bridge in Chugiak.
This summer, we're doing the northbound bridge over Peters Creek.
Justin Shelby with DOT says this project means 45 days of workers and drivers sharing the same stretch of road. And in Alaska, the danger doesn't stop when the sun goes down.
A lot of our projects are working at night. We have sun for quite a bit of the nighttime here, so just because it's late doesn't mean that we're not out doing construction.
But this week is more than just a project.
This week is Work Zone Safety Week. We really want to encourage drivers to slow down and be cautious in those work zones.
Shelby says drivers can make a real difference by slowing down and giving workers space. On site, crews are doing their part too, even while using heavy equipment like this. There's work happening just down the road, and on a job site like this, every piece of gear matters. Now, this high visibility vest makes sure that drivers can see workers from far away, and the hard hat to ensure protection against those head injuries. And of course, a traffic cone, a device used to help control traffic that drivers can see from far away. Now, all of these are to help the workers stay safe.
At the end of the day, we want everybody to go home safely, our workers on the construction sites and our drivers as well.
Especially here in Alaska, where slowing down could save a life. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
And Wednesday is Go Orange Day, an opportunity to show your support by wearing orange or high visibility safety gear.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.